Okay, so why should everyone try to be a neet? Before we basically unpack why everyone should try being a neet for at least some time, let's define what exactly is neet, or who exactly is neet more accurately. So neet is an acronym. It means someone who is not in education, employment, or training. It's a government term. Basically, it's used in statistics, and there are more and more needs in general according to statistics. So, I mean, why would someone become a neet? It's usually, a young person who just got out of some educational institution, like, for example, from school, just graduated from university or school and decided to take a break. Or maybe that break even ultimately transitioned into some long-term neetdom, to say it so. So maybe someone, maybe even older who got laid off from a job may also become a neet. And I mean, there are many reasons, okay? Maybe some because of mental problems, it's usually also, related to social anxiety. When, people have crippling social anxiety, they might end up in neetdom. And I mean, maybe even, when in case of wealthy people, they might become neets because, they can afford it. I mean, there are many reasons, okay? So I'm talking about someone who is basically a young person who just, is just entering an adult life, and there are many social expectations about that person. Okay, so why should everyone try to, in that kind of situation, try to be a neet, at least for some time? I'm not talking about necessarily about, long-term neetdom. I'm talking about at least for some amount of time, It's a social experiment. So why should everyone? I mean, maybe many normies might hear this and say, okay, what's there about neetdom? Because many normies are just very attached to their jobs, and they just, can't imagine their life without a job. So I mean, of course, being a neet results in having basically unlimited amount of free time, and I'm not gonna talk about that exactly. Okay, that's a big part of neetdom, having huge amount of free time, and how you're gonna deal with that. Okay, I'm not gonna talk about that. I'm talking about neetdom as a social experiment, okay, which relates to how people around you will treat your neetdom. And okay, being a neet and people's reaction to you being a neet, it's gonna be okay. If you're a young person, it's gonna be just totally eye-opening on many things, okay? Assumptions from childhood are gonna just break down, okay? And it's gonna reveal many things about life. So what exactly am I talking about? Of course, there are many things to discuss here. So first of all, reactions of people around you, for example, parents who, okay, maybe you are still, young person, you live with your parents, you decided to take a break. Okay. Then of course, friends and just people around you. So initially, basically, people maybe, it's not exactly 100%, but maybe initially people will be supportive, but after some amount of time, people are just gonna, totally hate it. People generally hate it. Of course, suddenly, basically, you will see all the unconditional love, which is expected from parents, maybe even relatives. It's suddenly okay. All those assumptions are just gonna shatter. Okay, so basically you will see that okay, there is no. Maybe you would expect parents to be always supportive. No, because parents are expected to be 100% always supportive of their children. But yeah, I think usually that's not what happens with needs. Okay, your experience might be quite different, but at least I think at least in many cases, it's just gonna, neetdom is just gonna totally shatter that assumptions that okay, parents are just gonna be always supportive. They are not gonna be always supportive. Parents will just hate you being a neet in most cases, at least. Parents are just gonna constantly nag about you being a neet. They're okay, you are gonna lose all your emotional support from parents. Okay, parents are just gonna they're gonna be very disappointed. Usually usually more people see you as a failure. And longer neetdom continues, more people are just gonna be extremely disappointed. I mean, the parents are gonna be extremely disappointed. They will be mad at you, and at some point, they will be like pretty okay, and you will think like, okay, they're chill. But then at some absolutely random moment, they will have like, they will be like absolutely mad at you. They will become angry at you, like purely randomly. You need to get a job. You need to like go outside or whatever. I mean, it's gonna be pretty random basically, and it would be funny how random it is actually, because they will just let it out all their anger at you at some arbitrary random moment. And so I mean, that's just how it's gonna be. Your assumptions about unconditional love, they're just gonna shatter. Okay, and same things goes for friends. Friends are just gonna, especially if you are like seen as being left behind in life. I mean, they are gonna maybe even dump you. I mean, many friends will just dump you because, okay, you are now not seen at same social status as they are. They're just gonna be okay, whatever. We're just not gonna communicate with you anymore. We're just gonna, part our ways. Okay, so this especially happens when they, achieve another milestone in life. Like, for example, after school, so your friends go to university or college. So if they feel that, okay, you are left behind in life, many will just outright stop being friends with you. I mean, yeah, that's just what's gonna happen. And this is about people, I mean, maybe even your childhood friends who you would expect to be like friends forever. It's gonna be a big disappointment when you see that, okay, they're just dumping you all, don't want to do anything more with you. They have other new friends and they don't care about your situation. They don't really care. So that's it. Basically, that's all about friends. And then it comes to like other people, relatives, and just other, acquaintances. Okay, they're not gonna be, very concerned about your situation, but you are gonna suddenly lose your respect. Your social status is just gonna be destroyed. I mean, in their eyes. And I mean, it's gonna be tough. I mean, I'm serious. Emotionally, it's gonna be quite tough because you would know that, okay, these people, if they know about your situation, they just don't respect you. They just, suddenly all the respect you had, all the, status you had, it's just all lost. Being unemployed means just that you lose respect you had previously. So, I mean, it's gonna be tough, definitely. And I mean, if you especially if you have high achieving relatives, I mean, it's gonna be especially tough because, okay, maybe your parents will be in touch with your relatives, and when they hear that, okay, maybe your cousin is doing great or somebody else, I mean, your parents are just gonna be extra unhappy about you, extra mad, extra disappointed. And I mean it. I mean, you really have to experience that. I mean, how your parents' attitudes are just gonna change about you when they hear like, maybe their friend's child is doing great. Okay, they're doing great in life, and you are not, and they increasingly perceive you as loser, as a failure. Okay, I mean, it's just gonna be tough. That's all I'm gonna say. It's not something that will be, there's nothing I can tell, that's gonna be comforting. I mean, it's just gonna be unpleasant, very unpleasant to hear many comments people around you gonna make about you. People will just outright, question what purpose your life has, your existence, if there is any purpose. Some people will just, tell this straight to your face without any apprehensions. So it's gonna be wild. It's gonna be pretty wild. I mean, whenever you're gonna meet new people, or your family is gonna meet new people, and when they are gonna ask, okay, what are you doing in life? That's gonna be like, it's gonna be like character assassination. Okay, you answer that, okay, or maybe your parents say that, okay, you're neat. I mean, it's just gonna destroy all kind of, reputation that you could possibly have. And I mean, you will understand how transactional many people are, especially if these people are not related to you. Okay, of course, I mean, they are just gonna be very, like, blunt in many cases. And it's not just, about people who aren't related to you. Okay, even people who are related to you, they will just, make you feel in a way that, okay, you will know that they just don't respect you. You have lost your reputation. I mean, And I mean, this is a hard pill. This is a really hard pill to swallow. That okay, I'm not treated as I expected to. Okay, there is no unconditional love, no unconditional respect, no unconditional solidarity. Okay, that stuff just doesn't exist. Okay, everything is conditional. I mean, everything you had in childhood, it's tied to some promise of you achieving something in your life. I'm not talking about you being like becoming a billionaire or whatever. I'm not talking about that, or becoming a famous person. No, just being a successful for an average person. Let's say, okay. I'm just talking about you having medium paying or high paying job at least, and graduating from college and doing something which will be perceived as productive. I mean, if you don't have that, okay, people's attitudes are just gonna change. They're gonna be totally different, and this will be an eye opener. I mean, that's why I think at least for some maybe short amount of time, it's very good social experiment. Okay, because let's see how people treat you when you are like on a rock bottom, essentially. When you are seen as a failure, and I think parents are just gonna be very disappointed. They're just gonna be hate your condition, but parents are still the people who may at some point, parents at least might still accept you and still love you. I mean, parents still might accept you, still might get over the fact that you are not gonna be like what they imagined you to be, if it's a long-term need, but it's not gonna happen instantly. It's gonna take a long amount of time, just a really long amount of time for parents to get used to it, still accepting you. And before that, you're just gonna be judged left and right. And the thing is, even if parents get over that fact, other people around you, they're just gonna treat you in a horrible way. Basic human decency, basic human respect, many will not even show that. I mean, that's why I think it's a fascinating experience. It really is, because it really reveals many things about the world, how society works, and how you're gonna be treated when you are on the rock bottom. It's just gonna reveal many things, and it's an eye opener. Everyone will judge you left and right, and maybe some people will not even judge you in your face, but you would know that from their behaviors that they just judge you behind your back. Don't talk in a nice way about you. So you're just gonna meet people, and you will know that these people are talking crap about me behind my back, and that's a really important experience, if you ask me. That's why I think it's a very crucial experience. Of course, there is free time, how you manage that, but I'm talking about neetdom as a social experiment, and that's why I think even for normies experiencing this, it's really just gonna be very important for a short amount of time to experiment being in it, and how it maybe many people will just be very accepting still and supportive and try to understand your situation. I mean, if people around you just understand your situation and they're just gonna be we are gonna be still supportive. We want you to do something about your life, but we are gonna be supportive no matter what. We are just gonna support you, maybe even help you. If people around you are gonna be like that, that's a blessing. I mean, that's really a blessing. I don't believe that everyone's gonna be like that. Maybe a very close group of people, but no, it's generally expected to be the worst kind of situation when you become in it. I mean, so it's worth trying. I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's worth trying to experiment with that and see how the world is gonna react, how people around you is gonna react, at least for that short amount of time when you become in it. So if anyone actually reached this point of the video, and if anyone managed to survive to this point, I mean, just respect, for managing to survive this long. And that's basically it.